Wow, this is awful. Oh god. Sorry, I saw the name of her skill and I'm cringing. Elemental skill. Ding ling ling. Demon Hunt Melody. This is actually just like Labubu Shao. That's fucking crazy, man. My god. Okay. With the resolve to defeat the evil witch and save discard. Like René Descartes? Holy! She thinks, therefore she is. That's crazy. Prune unleashes the power of wind. Oh, not animal, wind. Okay, got it. Damn, that's crazy. I think that's the first time a character's ability refers to a concept of one of the elements by its actual name instead of the element name. That's so crazy. She strikes the hunting oath hammer against the... Okay, how many named things do you need here? We're 2 sentences in and there's already like 5 things. Like, calm down, man. Jesus Christ. She strikes the hunting oath hammer against the lure witch bell, dealing animo damage. If this attack triggers a swirl reaction, Ding Ling Ling Demon Hunt Melody is replaced by Dong Xiang Xiang Punishment of the Bane for the next 6 seconds. That's okay. Alright, got it. Why is she suddenly Chinese? I don't know. I don't know. Holy, your pronunciation was hella good. True! So true. She's a C-pop demon hunter. Oh, that's so funny. Dong Tiang Tiang, Punishment of the Bane. The hammer absorbs the element involved in the previous swirl, transforming the hunting oath hammer into that element. Tap to leap forward and launch the hammer, dealing damage of the corresponding element to enemies in front. Hunting oath hammer, Prune stress, blah blah blah. Okay, that's just repeating things. Okay, she can also get the hunting oath hammer by unlocking the innate talent. We are going to be... Okay. The skill is basically not doing anything. Got it. Elemental burst, ringing demon hunt hour. Prune gently shakes the lure witch bell, dealing animo damage to surrounding enemies. The bell then enters hunting mode. Lure witch bell hunting. In this mode, the bell follows the active character and intermittently attacks nearby enemies, dealing AoE animo damage considered as elemental burst damage. The damage is not very high, so none of these damage numbers really look like anything. Duration 12 seconds, cooldown 18 seconds is not a good sign. She's probably gonna have... They're all level 1, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Unless it's hitting like 10 times per second, that won't matter. Bro, you guys need to understand, okay? Xian Yun's coordinated attack is like kind of this at level 1. Alright, this is not... This is... yeah. But yeah, so like 12 seconds here, 18-second cooldown, it means that like 99% her cons increase duration, and she's gonna feel awful to play without the cons. So I'm excited for that. Talents. While in hunting mode, when the lure witch bell deals damage, so when your burst triggers swirl, the hunting oath hammer appears above them. It deals 150% of Prune's attack as corresponding elemental damage, considered as elemental burst damage. Okay. That's not awful. This more than doubles the burst damage. I don't know if it's enough, though. Like, because we don't know how often it hits. If this hits multiple times per second, that's actually starting to be pretty good. But if it's like once every 2 seconds, it's kind of not going to matter. Yeah, also, right now I'm assuming her burst doesn't have ICD, but if her burst has standard ICD, it doesn't more than double the damage. Resonant Bell. When Prune's transformed hunting oath hammer hits enemies, nearby teammates gain ringing inspiration for 5 seconds. That should be pretty trivial to get. Normal charge punch attacks, skills, or burst deal bonus damage. No, not another fucking quill effect. They hate theory crafters. I don't want to add 7 lines to my sheets. Stop. Stop. Oh wait, never mind. It's not a quill effect. It's damage percent. I was wrong. I didn't read the whole thing. Okay. Okay. Good then. So 35 damage percent. Is it 35? It's like 1,000 attack is 10. It is not 35. Okay. You need to have 4,500 attack to max this out. So you are not maxing it out. It's not 3,500 because it's each point of attack exceeding 1,000. You need 3,500 over 1,000. So you're not getting that. Got it. Maybe possible if she gets Nicole buff. Probably still not maxing it out, but it's fine, right? Like, I prefer it when it's like that. I don't really like when characters that buff based on their own stats have a cap that is actually achievable. Because it makes building them feel kind of bedge. It's like, are you capped yet? Yes or no? And once you're capped, it doesn't matter what the build is anymore. I prefer when, like, instead of capping at like 60% with an amount of attack, so they could have made this cap at 30% or 25%, but it's trivial and you always get it. But I prefer that the cap is a bit higher, and on average you get a bit less, which allows more like range in terms of your team building. It's just cooler, I think. You still go TDDS probably? Yeah, probably, but that's for later. Okay, extra talent, Witch. So she gets the Hexarai secret, right? Hexarai characters affected by Ringing Inspiration gain 45% attack for 5 seconds. Oh shit, that's a massive difference. Okay, so she gets an extra 65% attack to Varka. This is only for her? Oh, really? That doesn't make any sense. It's just a mistranslation? Oh, okay. Well, I guess then. No, it's for the active character. Cien says herself. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother trying to figure that out. So it's either a self buff or not a self buff. Whatever. All right. C1. When a hunting oath hammer that has undergone elemental transformation hits enemies, she regenerates 2 energy. What's her burst cost default? It's 70. Okay, she's gonna need that. Can occur once every 1.8 seconds. That probably means the burst hits more than once every 1.8 seconds, otherwise this line wouldn't be necessary. So it's probably once per second on the burst. Or 1.25 maybe, yeah. Isn't that her skill? This is the coordinated hit that happens when your skill or when your burst triggers swirl. The numbers on it are on the skill, but there's also one on the Ascension passive, which is also called a Hunting Oath Hammer, that happens when your burst swirls. It's when her absorb damage hits, right? Whether it's from the skill or burst. Okay, C2, Tidy Burdens, Elemental Power revealed. While Lure Witch Bell is in hunting mode during Ringing Demon Hunt Hour. Prune gains Hunting Witch. Attack is increased by 10%. When the Bell or transformed Oath Hammer hits an enemy, attack is further increased by 5%. This is dog shit. Okay, got it. Here's the proper translation. Okay, all right. C3, talent levels, C4. When a transformed Hunting Oath Hammer hits enemies, it bounces again. So you get a double hit, which is 33% more damage. Okay, I mean, again, right, like, C2 and C4 are personal damage cons, so I don't really... as long as we don't know how fast her stuff hits, we can't know how good they are. But I'm assuming, because she's a 2026 4-star, her personal damage won't be good. C2 is attack on for buff. It's really not that much of a buff. Like, you guys need to understand, okay? A 40% attack buff, let's assume that you're giving her a 5-star weapon, getting her base attack to 1,000, right? That's 400 attack. 400 attack is 4% more damage to your carry. This is not a support constellation. This is a personal damage constellation, okay? Anyways, and then C6, which is probably the only one that matters, because I mean, I guess the C1 is potentially nice, but C6 extends hunting mode duration by 4 seconds. That's pretty good. I don't think it matters that much for Varka, but it will give her more flexibility, because maybe it does matter for Varka. Maybe you just stay longer on Varka with her because you don't have to deal with Venti animations, but she needs 4.5k attack buff for her full buff, though. Okay, but again, you don't... just because there is a cap written in the ability description doesn't actually mean that your only goal is to reach that cap. Like, crit rate is capped at 100%, but if you don't have an insane build, if you don't get extra crit from your character's gear or kit, you shouldn't be going 100 crit rate and like 100 crit damage just because crit rate is capped, so I want to reach the cap. Like, that's not how that works. And it's not like the buff has like a certain threshold at which the scaling changes, like Yonsan. The scaling is linear, and the amount of attack required to max it out is more than what most reasonable builds will be at. So maxing it out shouldn't really be something that is even... if anything, you want to make sure you don't max it out. Because effectively what the cap means is getting extra attack is useful until you reach the cap. And once you reach the cap, your extra attack becomes useless. Like, what this cap means is that if you're already really close to the cap, you don't really want to get an extra TOM, an extra Noblesse external attack buff, right? That's what the cap is really doing. But again, right, here the cap for her specifically is so high that you're very unlikely to reach it. Especially because Fav Codex isn't high base attack. It's a mid base attack. and TTDS, if you end up using that, is also a 3-star weapon. So unless you end up using a 5-star weapon on her, you're really unlikely to ever get even close to the cap. I mean, I haven't read this. I haven't finished reading the C6, so maybe the C6 gets you 1 more billion attack. Additionally, when any character affected by Ringing Inspiration triggers a reaction on enemies, Prune and all nearby characters with Ringing Inspiration gain 350 attack. Okay, well there's the extra attack, but that's not that big of a difference. 350 attack is a lot, I guess. Oh, that's very funny. I like that. Okay, well, okay. So far, this character doesn't look too good because just the value of the buffing isn't that high. The thing is, you guys have to understand that the competition for the Animo slot in Varka teams is pretty low. Because as much as Venti does do a decent amount for your team, he also has 5-star animations. And being a 4-star is an inherent advantage. Because being a 4-star means that you're inherently requiring 1 or 2 less seconds of field time. And 1 or 2 less seconds of field time means 1 or 2 more seconds of uptime on Varka. Or 1 or 2 less seconds in your rotation length, depending on what lines up better for you. But she has to press E twice, does she? I don't think she cares about doing this, no? I mean, I guess maybe the energy generation on this is on the second hit. But otherwise, you wouldn't give a fuck. It doesn't do anything. You really don't care. So I guess they're probably gonna make the energy generation on the second hit. Maybe not, though. They could do it like Farazan, where the energy generation is on the second hit, but it's like a relatively low amount of particles, and the alternative way that her kit like provides of getting the second hit, which is with her Ascension passive, can also trigger particle generation. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, actually. 350 attack and 35 damage is team-wide. Is it? Yeah, it is. You're right. Okay, that is a bit better then. I didn't think about that. Isn't the 35% only to herself? No, that's the attack percent from the other Ascension passive. Or sorry, for the Hexerai, from the Hexerai passive. Wait, does that mean she doesn't give a fuck about Hexerai? Like, none of her relevant abilities care about Hexerai, right? Ooh, wait, that's interesting. The Swirl passive does? No, it doesn't. Like, if you're talking about this passive, that's not the Swirl passive, that's a Witch passive. And, like, this passive is not that important. Interesting, then. Is 350 flat attack better than 200 EM for Flynn's? Dude, honestly, it's probably pretty competitive. C6 Prune might be a slight upgrade to Flynn's teams. You don't need to 2-swap and you get full uptime on the buff, right? At C6. I guess it's not entirely full uptime, I guess. She gets 200. I'm talking about Sucrose. I'm comparing her to Sucrose for Flynn's. It's for sure better if you don't have Inefa. I'd say it's the opposite. Inefa is going to benefit from her quite a bit. But Sucrose TTDS, this character can have TTDS too if you want. Flynn's teams don't care about the damage percent buff, so they don't get nerfed by Prune having lower attack. The 350 isn't team-wide. But it should be, because it says all nearby characters, it doesn't say active, all nearby characters with Ringing Inspiration, and Ringing Inspiration says, where the fuck is it, man? Is it in the burst? Is it in the skill? Where is it? Under Resonant Bell? Okay, yeah. When Prune's transformed, a Hunting Oath Hammer hits enemies, nearby teammates gain Ringing Inspiration. It doesn't say nearby active teammates. Again, right? We have to take things with a grain of salt for the first leaks when it comes to mistranslations and wording, but this wording would not indicate that it only affects the active party member. Only 5 seconds. It happens over and over. The trigger condition is her dealing non-animo damage with her abilities, right? Like getting the absorb damage, which happens when she uses her skill or when her burst triggers Swirl. Normal skill burst and no lunar reaction. Yeah, like the damage percent here is useless, but they do get the Ringing Inspiration effect, and the C6 adds an attack buff to the Ringing Inspiration effect. So like this would be C6 exclusive. Non-C6 would do nothing. You get 350 only if you trigger a reaction. Yeah, but you're... Why are you saying that as if you weren't gonna trigger reactions in a Flynn's team? Like you... like let's like I don't know, but like let's yeah. Still worse than Sucrose. Attack is better than EM on Flynn's, because you get so much EM and lunar damage bonus externally, and EM has actual diminishing returns. Like the formula for lunar damage based on EM is not linear, unlike literally every other formula, other than like I guess the crit, but crit is better than linear, so for the sake of this argument, it doesn't matter. 18-second cooldown though, fair. I guess that's the one thing here. It is an 18-second cooldown.
Goose on the loose.
Yeah.
Goose on the loose.
Goose on the loose.